Welcome to this December 15th meeting of the Paducah Planning and Zoning Commission. We welcome you all here tonight and invite you to stand with us and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Irvin, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Benberry.
Here.
Bradford.
Here.
Morrison.
Here.
Schramke.
Here.
Shadle.
Here.
Wade.
Here.
Chair Casillas.
Here. Mr. Morrison, I believe you have the minutes motion.
Yes, ma'am. I move that the reading of the minutes for December 1st, 2014 be waived and that the minutes of said meeting as prepared by the Secretary be approved as written.
Second.
Second by Wade. Any discussion, corrections? Call the roll, please.
Morrison.
Aye.
Schramke.
Aye.
Shadle.
Aye.
Wade.
Aye.
Benberry.
Aye.
Bradford.
Aye.
Chair Casillas.
Aye. Mr. Shadle, do you have the City of Paducah and Paducah-McCracken County Convention Center Corporation item?
I move that this commission receive and file the application of the City of Paducah and the Paducah-McCracken County Convention Center Corporation for the proposed subdivision of property located at 415, 431 Park Avenue and 1 Executive Boulevard. I further move that the requested approval be given in compliance with all other applicable provisions of the Paducah subdivision ordinance be waived.
Second.
Second by Schramke.
Good evening, Chair, Commission. Thank you very much. I'll be representing the owners this evening on this matter. This is the former Executive Inn property. Until about 9 years ago, it was one 27-acre property, all under the ownership of the Convention Center Corporation, but a slew of properties and right-of-ways and easements. And about 9 years ago, when the hotel was being prepared to be sold, the corporation split off what was the hotel from the convention center. Then after the city initiated its foreclosure, between the city or the Convention Center Corporation, the land was always owned by the city or the corporation. The hotel itself was subject to a leasehold improvement. When the city foreclosed on that in 2009, the city kept the right half of your plat and will continue to own that going forward, and the other part will continue to be held by the corporation. What we seek to do with this very busy-looking plat is a few things. One is incorporate the improvements that the city is making at Schultz Park into that track. What was formerly part of the river is now being elevated out and brought into the city's property. On the other side, the thing you see labeled as Track 3 is currently a track that is currently owned by the corporation that is being prepared to be divided for future transfer to the City of Paducah for construction of the Greenway Trail. That is, all the improvements that are behind or everything that's behind the Expo Center that's not improved. So behind the curb line, between the curb down to the river's edge, and that's where construction for Greenway Trail will occur. The busy part in the middle is where the city and the corporation are going to swap some properties. What was formerly the showroom, that was part of the hotel, so the city owns that. We're currently improving that property to be used for convention center purposes. So we will, when that gets complete, we will transfer that and make that part of the convention center's holding. And then there's just on the south side where the convention center building is, there's a tract of land that's parking that's owned by the city. We'll swap that onto the corporation also, mostly because it's what it's being used for. The city has no particular use for it. And the other most significant part of this plat is, if you look at the busy crosshatched area called Lease Tract 2, that is future hotel parking. So we have to create that tract, and that will be subject to a lease with the hoteliers, and they want to do they want to get title on this and title insurance on this, so that necessitates the need for creating that lease tract. And of course, the hotel will go on what's it labeled, Steve? It's not subject to this plat, but it's
Lease tract
labeled
one.
Lease Tract 1 per the development agreement. That already exists. We're not doing anything with that. A lot on there, but that's the most significant thing that's occurring is the creation of lease tract, what we're calling Lease Tract 2.
I have one question. Is this a right-of-way underneath?
It is. So if you look to the left, what says Track 3, if you've been at the end of Campbell Street, which is in the upper left-hand corner of the plat, it's where the city's improved Greenway Trail ends on the earthen part of the berm. We're going to pick up, and this is already funded and we're under design, we'll pick up construction there, go across Track 3 and underneath the showroom. So that little area of easement, we're going to transfer that to the corporation. We're going to retain an easement where the trail will literally go underneath the building right there, right next to the river's edge, and then it'll blow out on city property, and then we'll continue the trail on to the park improvements. So you'll be able to go from County Park Road all the way to downtown Paducah and never get off the trail, and only have to cross 2 streets.
And where the hotel is going to be on that Track 1 and the parking area that you're talking about on Track 2, how is that accessible?
Okay, good question. Both, and a couple things to understand. The city is not selling those tracks. Those will be subject to leases. We will be introducing a new pedestrian cut into the flood wall between the 2 properties. Not a full-blown drive a car through and have to erect a gate. It'll be just a pedestrian door. And then the hotel and the convention center will be connected via a pedway, an overhead pedway.
In the event, of course, this happens not often, but it has upon occasion. If there was flooding and the flood wall had to be closed, the pedestrian way had to be closed, where would they park? It's a question I've had, and I'm sure the city would find places for that to happen.
Yeah, well, right across the street, it's busy, but Pat's has a public parking area that has 60 parking spaces. It would be inadequate, but in the short term between street and that parking lot, we would make it work. And yes, about once every 10 years or 12 years or so, it does have to be closed. And they're aware of that, and they said we'll work out those logistics when that happens.
Is there any thought to the part that's going to be a parking lot that it be a parking facility that maybe across the top of the flood wall or something?
Nope, it'll be surface parking. We only need 100, what were we doing, Steve? Around 130 parking spaces total for the project. It's split between the 2 tracks. I wish I would have brought the site plan. Where the hotel is going, there's really not a lot of parking around the hotel. It's mostly green. And so the majority of the parking, or 2/3 of it, will be behind the flood wall.
There's spillover parking adjacent to the convention center.
Yes.
Lots.
Yes. There's more than 800 striped parking spaces with the convention center right now, which for the majority of time is suitable for our needs. There's only one event a year that it's not suitable, and there's not enough land to build parking suitable for that one event.
This may not be the place for it, but I'm curious. Is there going to be a connection to the convention center from the hotel?
Yes. It's not indicated on the plat, but on the second floor of the hotel, the elevation of that floor will correspond perfectly with the main floor of the convention center. So it'll fly over the top of the flood wall and connect. And so when you go upstairs in the sacrificial room will be the Eisenhower room. So it's the smallest meeting room, and it will come out in favor of where the connection will be made to the hotel.
It's kind of what I heard. I just wanted to
Yep.
hear it officially, I guess.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments?
Thank you.
Call the roll, please.
Yes, ma'am. Shadle,
Shadle?
Aye.
Wade,
Aye.
Benberry,
Aye.
Bradford,
Aye.
Morrison,
Aye.
Shramky,
Aye.
Chair Casilius.
Aye. Ms. Shramky, you have the Falconite Hip waiver of subdivision.
I move that this commission receive and file the application of Falconite Hip LLC for the proposed re-subdivision of property located at 4600 and 4610 Partridge Lane and 2672 Legends Drive. I further move that the requested approval be given in compliance with all other applicable provisions of the Paducah subdivision ordinance be waived.
Second.
By Shadle and
Morrison and Benberry.
I believe you all have seen this plat before. We tried to take care of that encroachment, that overhang encroachment, but for some reason, Ms. Penn, she declined to sign it, so we're going back to the original
wow.
plan. I mean, it's her encroachment. I don't know why. I don't understand why she didn't sign it, but it was definitely to her benefit. It was free. We were going to give her a free 1-foot strip of land to take care of her encroachment, but for some reason she declined, so now we have to go back to the original plan, which is...
So this means at some point in the future, if she should decide to sell her property, probably that'll have to be handled, won't it? To get
Well,
through it?
I think it can be sold. There'll have to be a notification of that encroachment on that plat. But the encroachment would stay, but she could still transfer the property, if I'm correct, Counsel.
Sure, she can transfer it, but, or when the revised lot 1 is sold, and those purchasers say, hey, you've got your fence
Right.
2 feet over on my property.
Right.
That's my fence, or you take it down. I don't like the way it looks. Or I don't like your roof overhanging my property. And they go to court, and the judge orders that someone, removes that overhang because
Exactly.
that's her problem.
And that's an existing property line. Yeah.
Well, and my question, and just, make it clear to me again, is when, right now it's owned by the developer, but eventually there'll be a home there and it will be sold, and the new owner will know that all this issue is going on because they have to have it surveyed, correct?
They don't have to have it surveyed. It's already been surveyed. What they do is the property will be conveyed according to this plat, which reflects the fact that there is a encroachment of the roof line and also a fence encroachment. And usually when someone buys property, they get a title exam, and the title exam will reflect, because the attorney running the title will note on the plat, it shows these encroachments.
My
And-
concern is I
Really
just
noted.
don't want some unsuspecting new homeowner to all of a sudden find out
Right.
this is all going on. But if it's happening at the time of the sale, and they can make the decision, I'm okay with that. And you said the title search would do that.
Yeah, they can also.
Be listed as an exception to the title.
And they can also enter into an encroachment agreement whereby the owners of Lot 1, revised Lot 1, could permit those encroachments to continue. Once those encroachments have been there for 15 years, then adverse possession gives the right of the encroachment to continue, but we're not to 15 years yet, so...
I understand there's all sorts of things they can do. My main concern was that this new owner is going to be aware by someone, somehow.
Well, not just that, but if she were to sell her property, that new owner would need to know that. It affects
Exactly.
a new owner of that property a whole lot more than it does the developer
Well,
selling.
either
it.
one.
Yes.
Danny, is it 15 years? Has it gone up? Was it something less than that a few years ago?
7 years under color title, but it's 15 years on something like this.
So the overhang is not in the encroachment, but the fence is that correct?
Overhang is an encroachment. It's about 3/4 of a foot. I think .73,
The houses.
73 feet and .57 feet, 0.57. So it runs between about a half a foot to 3/4 of a foot along that line.
Did she give a reason why she didn't want to sign it?
No, I didn't. I wasn't the one that talked to her. It was our licensed surveyor. So,
Was she notified that we were going to go ahead and go with this? That would create a problem, per se, for her?
I have not talked to her. Staff has not talked to her, but staff would be happy to talk to her.
No, the problem's already existing. That line is an existing line. We're not doing anything with that line. We're abolishing
Middle line.
the one line that runs
In some
parallel with Perkins Creek Drive.
But when they build on it, it will create possibly a problem.
Yeah.
Oh.
No problem already exists.
Yeah, there's already, right now, you have that existing interior property line. And you've also got an interior property line, lots 1 and 2. They're actually abolishing that. In some cases, we're actually lessening the actual encroachment because we're getting rid of one property line that currently an overhang is actually over, but we're not creating any new property lines.
So a future builder could actually put their structure a little bit farther away from the encroachment.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they would, but they could.
They're going to have a minimum building line, I'm assuming they're of 6 feet.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is in that
5 or
district.
6.
Well,
there is no side yard.
No side yard line?
Not in this one.
planned unit development.
Oh, okay.
But a new builder could want her to move the fence or possibly cut back the overhang of her house.
Mm-hmm.
Who has spoken to her?
Herb Simmons, my boss.
I would imagine he would have had that.
I don't understand why. Yeah, I mean, we're giving her land.
Right.
The owner, Falconite and Hip, are giving her a foot of land to take care of her problem. She would no longer have an encroachment. But for some reason, she didn't want to accept it. I don't understand. That would take care of the whole problem.
Is there a sale pending on this?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know.
What's your pleasure? Do I get a feeling from you that you'd be interested in postponing to see if we give it one more shot, to see if someone could speak with her from the planning office, maybe, and explain it to her? Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
What do you think, Steve?
I'd certainly be willing to talk to her. I mean, obviously, with the developer willing to donate a foot of land to take care of that encroachment so we don't have those future problems is best for everybody. I'm not sure if we can force that at this point because we're really not creating the encroachment by adding any new property lines. But I'd be certainly happy to make that contact and see if we could work something
We
out.
have already approved the plat in the
Right.
Yes,
our subdivision.
Yes.
But if we were to approve this tonight, does that supersede and negate the last approval?
Yes.
Therefore, if she said, "Oh, okay, I will sign it now," then it's
New
going to
plat.
come back in
That's right. Mm-hmm.
again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the foot of the 1 foot strip's already been approved. So yeah, if she would agree to it, all she'd have to do is sign it because you all
We would negate that if we act tonight.
right.
Maybe not. Because you're approving, all you're doing is approving the abolishment. And if she signed that plat, then they came back before us, then basically they're just creating a new lot line. The lot line is already abolished between the 1 and 2, creating the larger lot, and we would just be 1 foot less.
I agree. What happens, though, is you have two actions instead of one, but it wouldn't negate tonight's action.
And doesn't spur it having to come in yet a third time. Is that correct?
Yes, it would have to come back
It would have to
to
come back.
move the interior track over 1 foot.
Yeah, right.
And then it would negate last.
No, if the action happened tonight, you're abolishing the
What we're
interior
doing tonight is
property.
abolishing this line.
Right.
Once that's abolished, that's abolished. Then if she came back in and said, hey, I want this, so all we do is we just come in and we just abolish this line and establish a new line here, but this one is already
But
done.
we already did that as a
We
part of-
did. It was in the last plat.
Right,
Yes, we've already did that once.
It was.
We've already abolished Lot 1.
yes.
Yes.
We did. And we already added the 1 foot
Well,
of easement in, or the 1 foot in the last plat, did we not?
Yeah.
Right, you all approved it, we just never recorded it yet.
Oh, you
We held off on recording
recorded it.
because we hadn't got
Property
her-
owner, she has not signed it.
Right, so therefore we did not record it.
So what you did is you brought it before us. She hadn't signed it.
Right.
So
It was approved, but because she did not agree to it, we did not record it, obviously.
you were supposed to have signed plats from all the owners before it came in.
Not all the time.
There was a reasonable expectation that she would
Well,
agree.
Well, I mean, you can do however you want. Right now, the way it stands, we have the 1 foot approved and the lot line abolishment approved. And if she would sign that, if we held off and she signed that one,
Then we wouldn't
then
have.
that would be ready to go. Right, nothing would happen here.
I suggest we do that. I think it's
Postpone,
worth
yeah.
one more shot.
Me too.
Is
Steve
there,
is willing to talk
is there a
to-
motion then?
Yes, I make a
Table?
motion.
Well,
that we-
it's really his call as the applicant to this. What we do, I think we either have to act on his request or he alter his request.
Well, can we not table this?
Okay.
What
We can
would be wrong
table
with tabling this?
Motion's on the
Table it.
table, so what we'd need to do is table the motion.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, we've got a motion.
That's what I.
We can
was-
table the motion just to give them enough time to speak with her
Sure.
one more time.
There's no time restraints on your
No.
party's
that's what I
part.
said. There's
And
no.
not as far as I'm aware of, but I'm not for sure about that. But I haven't been the one talking to the client and the owner, so.
That was the reason why I asked the question about it. Was there a sale pending?
Okay.
Motion made to table.
Do you like a motion to?
You make
table
it,
the
I'll,
motion?
you make it, and I'll second it.
I thought I did.
make it
But I'll do it again. I'd like to make a motion that we table this issue of this lot line at Plantation Village on Legends and Partridge Lane.
And you would like to table that to a date certain?
Next regular scheduled
Until our
meeting.
next regular meeting.
Second.
With the Planning
A
Commission.
second.
All right. Is there any
Was
discussion?
Ben Berry second?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, if there were a hardship for your request being immediate, they would have noted, surely someone would have
Yes,
told you
I'm
that.
sure somebody would have informed me of that.
Yeah,
But-
so it's not likely that there's a hardship that we're
Well,
creating with
Yeah.
this.
But we weren't anticipating any,
Problem.
I guess, delay tonight either, so I don't know. So, but, yeah, it's maybe she might, if she's given one more try, maybe she'll understand. I don't understand.
Explain something to her. Explain to her that she has absolutely nothing to lose and all to gain with this.
Exactly. Any other comments? Okay, now what we're voting on is we're voting to table the motion. That's what the vote is now. Okay. Call the roll, please.
Schramke,
Aye.
Shadle,
Aye.
Wade,
Aye.
Ben Berry,
Aye.
Bradford,
Aye.
Morrison,
Aye.
Chair Casillas.
Thank you.
Is there any other business to come before the commission tonight? Not? We stand adjourned.